I have to know, is there a real possibility that you could play Mother Gothel in the live-action Tangled movie?
Is there a real possibility?
Is there a real possibility that could happen?
Skip the drama, stay with Mama. Mother knows best.
I think anything is possible,
What would excite you about that if it happened?
What would excite me about it would be the opportunity to work with Michael Gracie, who's attached to direct the film, because he is just absolutely an extraordinary visionary, and any actor would love to have a collaboration with him.
You're being called a legend and a groundbreaker today. I know you're kind of like, what? But it's true. It is very true. So what does that mean to you at this point in your career when you hear those two words attached to your name?
I don't know. That's sort of a heavy load. I've been fortunate to be a working actor for 30 years, 30 plus years, which is kind of a crazy number. But I think in that time, I've changed a lot as a person and as an actor as well. And I like to think that hopefully the work that I'm doing is, certainly it's challenges me in new ways, and hopefully that inspires other actors to dig deeper and do challenging work as well.
When you think back, was there a role or was there a moment in your career that you felt like, okay, I truly think I'm stepping into my power?
I think it's happened to me in several different, steps along the way. Certainly I think when I was a little girl and doing the Horse Whisperer with Robert Redford was a huge transformative moment for me.
When we're not working, you're not doing your therapy, I'd like you to help out with the horses, rubbing them, cleaning the stalls. Think you can handle that?
That's not a question, is it?
Nope.
Okay.
I understood acting as a something that you really had to, like, oh, this is a craft and something you get better at and learn more about, and there's a method to this, and and then again when I did A View from the Bridge on Broadway when I was in my mid-20s, and having that experience being on stage with Liev Schreiber and Jessica Hecht and Michael Christopher and doing Arthur Miller, it really helped sort of like reunite me with the passion that I'd had for acting for a long time that had kind of like felt a little bit stagnant. And I think there's just been working with Jonathan Glazer on Under the Skin was so hard and so rewarding and also like impossible in a lot of ways. Like that partnership was so inspiring to me. I mean, I did, 10 plus years with Marvel.
Natasha.
Such a poser.
And returning to that, role every 18 months or 2 years, and having evolved as a person and as an actor was a unique experience and a challenge in really wonderful ways. So I think it's just, every job I learn more about, not necessarily, I learn more about the things that make me uncomfortable and how to use those things to deepen my connection to the work.
It's interesting that you mentioned the Horse Whisperer because Entertainment Tonight has been with you for a very long time. And so your very first interview with us was on the set of the Horse Whisperer. And I just want to take you back to that moment.
I really learned a lot about patience from him. And really, when you take your time, you get a wonderful finished product. So that's something that I learned from him. I'm just a person, I'm just a teenager. And teenagers, I know being one, we want our independence, but at the same time, you want a security blanket there too.
Oh, I should show this to my daughter, by the way. I'm like, look, we are more similar than not.
Exactly. When you see her, and you said, 30, that's 30 years ago almost. What do you think about that girl, and what lessons has she learned?
I think I'm really the same person in some ways. I think in the fundamental ways, I think I was I was curious as a teenager, and I think the curiosity that I had is something that stayed with me, and I still am a very curious person, and I think that's an important ingredient to longevity. I think is curiosity.
It was interesting that you were talking about like getting bits from Robert Redford and learning these things and like kind of watching directing and all of that, because now you just delivered your first directing debut with Eleanor the Great.
I'm 94 years old and I'm moving to Manhattan for the first time today. What am I going to do here all day alone?
I signed you up for a class at JCC.
I judged the morgue prematurely. I can see that now.
I'm sure you didn't even think about that time, how you were picking up those little bits along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly did. I really, watching Robert Redford, command this huge production, and then also experience such like intimate work with him. Seeing the breadth of that was so inspiring to me, and it also showed me that you can, as a director, be the different things to different people, and that's an important part of the job.
You were a very smart teenager. I'm wondering if you were looking like, okay, I'm about to experience the same spunk in a teenager with my kids that I had.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking back on that. I was like, I think I'm getting dumber, actually. I think I was smarter then. I was certainly more poised. It seemed like I had it more together back then. But yeah, I guess we're all returning to our child state, right? Isn't that what Picasso was doing?
Do you talk about your career with your kids? Because I know we've had conversations before and about how good it feels to be a woman and have executive producer behind your name and doing those things as well. Do you sit and talk to your kids about those and the importance of those milestones?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing for me with my children at this young stage, our daughter is 11, our son is 4. Is that both of our kids know that when Colin and I leave for work that we're leaving for a job that we love. And it doesn't feel like, I never say to them like, ugh, I have to go do another day at work and, mommy's like, I always say I wish I could stay with you guys, but also that I'm leaving for something that I'm passionate about. And that's really important, I think, for both of our kids to know. And not see work as something that has to be like this arduous, obligation, but something that's a responsibility that you choose, and that you are actively engaged in.
I love to see all the colors of Scarlett Johansson, so thank you so much. It's always a great time to talk to you.
Thanks for the trip down memory lane.
She is a groundbreaking and a trailblazer, ladies and gentlemen, and a legend.
Yeah, well.